3, I just want everybody to say happy birthday, April. 1, 2, 3. Happy
birthday, April.
I love you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
So, okay, you can mute for a sec now. I'll call you back. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know some of you were busy. I love it. You know, I know Zuma had a sip and glow at her house. I know Allie and Angie did a trade show, you know, promoting the collagen, and I'm not sure if that was yesterday or today or both, but April's off to a good start. And April, just mention, I got a bunch of things I want to go over, but just mention Chicago, why it's fresh.
Yeah, I have a bunch of, you do yours and then I'll do mine.
And then you cover it. All right.
Yeah.
Just make sure everyone write down, in April, give details, but April 11th, there's going to be 2 meetings in Chicago, a luncheon and a night meeting. So she'll go over that when, excuse me, when she talks. But I want to take a few minutes. Some of you were texting me like crazy and about the back office and not knowing where anything is and not knowing how to find anything. And I just want to say, join the club. Welcome. Join the club. You know, it is, you know, when you change compensation plans, you change what you call everything, and you change the back office where everything that you used to think you knew where it was, it ain't there no more. You know, it's going to take a little while to get used to. And I can tell you from the other leaders that I talk to on a regular basis, you know, it's just going to be some trial and error and getting familiar with it. There's not much else I can say, but there are some things that I figured out. And I want to show it to you and maybe save you some time looking for things. I want you to realize how to pull up something quick. I also want you to understand there are some categories that don't matter. I mean, they're irrelevant. They have nothing to do with anything. And you have the ability to set up what you see and keep it there by lining up the columns and the filters and hitting the save button. And then whenever you log in, that will be what you see. You won't have to figure it out again. Okay. So I want to show you a few things. And then in between, if you got a question specific to what I talked about, not something else, because there's a couple things that I want to make sure you know where to find it and how to find it, and some of the tricks that go with it. I don't want to go anywhere that I don't bring up. Okay, that we'll save that for like next week. Okay, so let me share the screen and bring up. Okay, so we have, you know, we have more than one business. Okay, so this is one of our businesses. I'm going to use it as a dummy account for tonight, and to show you some things. So this is the home page that you see. It's called the dashboard right up here where my mouse is. Okay, this is what you see when you log into your back office. Okay, you'll see, it'll say hi, whatever your name is that's on your distributorship, you know, it'll say that. It'll allow you to click on sales volume, fast start, customer profits, genealogy. I mean, all of this stuff, everything does something different. Okay, it will show you how many points you are towards becoming Onyx, or it could read Emerald. It could say Sapphire, or it could say Diamond. But it'll obviously there's 0 points because we're 1 day into the month and no auto ships have gone out yet or anything like that. So, but this will be an accurate number. This will show you what your personal orders are if you have personally ordered product. One thing you need to understand, there is not any longer a personal requirement to purchase product. From the time the company started, and including 5 years ago when we joined, in order to get your check, okay, you always had to have at least 40 points or the equivalent of a bottle of Pro Tandem that you had ordered personally. There is no more personal requirement, okay? It's a customer requirement now. The volume is based on customers, and you can use up to 150 of your own volume. That's why this says 150. You can only use 150 of your own purchases towards qualifying. Okay, that's it. Anything above 150, obviously you're buying it, you're using it, you're getting a discount on it, but it does not qualify you to get your check. Okay, it just doesn't. Okay, the rest of the volume needs to be from customers, new or old. It doesn't matter. Okay, a customer on subscription that goes out every month, that counts. A brand new one that you just brought in, that counts. Okay, they all count, and it could be the same customers over and over, month after month after month. Okay, so let me show you. Let's say we go to, and these are a couple things I really want you to know where to find. Go to Genie. Well, let's do this. On the top, it says dashboard. Right next to it, it says reporting. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, this gives me all my options. Okay, right here, all the different places I can go with one click. So what I'm going to do is click on detailed genealogy. Now, for those of you that might be new, your detailed genealogy is everybody underneath you, whether they're a consultant, distributor, or customer. It's everybody. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. Okay, and this comes up. Okay, now I have the ability, this report that scrolls right here, I have the ability to customize the columns that are here. Okay, I have the ability to choose what I see when I log in. Now, for me and April, what we always want to see, we want to see a person's name. We want to see the person, the ID number of who enrolled them. Okay, we want to see when they last ordered. And most important, you can see up to 3 months volume. Okay, so February, March, and obviously April just started. Okay, so let me show you this. This column, let's use March. Okay, we're going to use March. And please write some of this down because it'll save each of us maybe hundreds of text messages. This number here, SV, means nothing. I mean, has no value, no meaning whatsoever. The only thing that number represents, it's CSV, which stands for customer sales volume. That is the important number. That is the number that determines if you're qualified. That is the number that determines if you're Onyx or Emerald or Sapphire or Diamond. The SV number is just CSV plus your personal order if you have one. So it means nothing, okay? So the two important columns are CSV and OV. Those are the two key places, okay? So let's say you're looking to see how your team or how you are doing individually with becoming an Onyx, an Emerald, a Sapphire, or a Diamond, okay? When you click this CSV, when it's blue, it means it's live. It means the link will do something. So if you click on that link, now I was already on it. So what it's going to do now, it's going to go to lowest first. So you're going to see zeros. Okay, see here, we're still in March. I clicked on it when it had all the numbers there. So though that was high to low is where I had it. By clicking on it, it flipped it, and now it goes from low to high. Well, obviously that doesn't have any value, okay? So I just want to show you, you can, if for some reason you want to see the flip side of it, you can, okay? But most of the time, I'm going to click on it again. we want to see it from the top down, okay? So see, now the numbers are back. So in March, okay, this person had customer sales volume that has nothing to do with signing consultants, that has nothing to do with any product they bought personally. These are customers that they signed up, either brand new or that are on subscription and their orders went out. That is how we become our gemstone rank. That is how we become onyx, emerald, sapphire, or diamond. So this distributor ended the month at 33.53. Well, 2,000 is sapphire, 4,000 is diamond. So they're almost to diamond, but they finished the month as a sapphire. Same thing here, the 32.29. They finished the month, okay, as a sapphire on their way to diamond. 13.30, what is that? Well, at 1,000, you become emerald. At 2,000, you become sapphire. So this person is emerald on their way to sapphire. 11.23, emerald on their way to sapphire. 11.23 again, same thing. 10.40, 10.38, 10.24. They're all emeralds with the next one in mind being sapphire. Okay. 9.50, 8.96, 6.42, 5.64, 5.18. Well, what number is onyx? Well, you become onyx at 500. So 5.18, 5.64, 6.42, 8.96, 9.50. Those are onyx distributors working towards becoming emerald. So let me do this before I go, because like I said, there's a lot of things I want to show you. Does anyone have any questions on this up to this point? If you do, just unmute yourself and ask. And believe me, if you're thinking it, probably someone else is thinking it too. So
What is OV?
I didn't get to that yet, but OV is organizational volume. So that means every dollar in business that has been done by your team, including anything you bought, anything your customers bought, and any new distributors, old distributors, all of their volume. That is the total of everything underneath you. CSV is just the total of the customers that you personally enrolled. And I'm going to talk about OV in a second. I just didn't get to that, but you got that, Hillary?
So Bobby,
I'm assuming
Yes.
you did. Go ahead, Lynn.
the CSV, does that include customers and distributors under
No,
us of
no,
their personal?
No. That's why I said, please write this down. It's really important. CSV is only customers that you have personally enrolled.
Okay,
That is it. That column is the only column that can get you to onyx and emerald and sapphire and diamond. They're personally enrolled customers. They could be on subscription. They could be spotty, order occasionally, but you enrolled them, period. Doesn't matter if you placed them and where they are now, it don't matter. You are listed as the enroller. That's CSV, okay? So let me go, since you both had questions about OV, let me go to OV is organizational volume, okay? That means everything in your business from top to bottom. That every distributor and every customer, no matter who enrolled them, that number, so when I clicked on it, the numbers went away, it went to 0. Now I'm clicking on it again to bring it back up. Okay, so the organization, so if you look at this person, they had 100 points in customer orders, 331 in sales volume. Well, remember the sales volume is their personal order plus customers, but that 331, okay, that is the combination of the two added together, okay? But OV means everything under you, and everything means everything. Okay. If you have 100 distributors under you, it's them. Okay. If you have, 1,000 customers under you, it's them. Okay. It's everybody that ordered, including you, everybody. That's what that number is. And that number is used so that you can rank advance your distributorship. See, this is new to all of us, okay? This is completely new. CSV is determining our gem rank. So that determines how we get paid on our personal business, whether we're getting paid as an Onyx, an Emerald, a Sapphire, or a Diamond. OV, organizational volume, and these numbers determines whether we're getting paid as these ranks here, okay? Whether we're a managing consultant 3, a senior consultant 3, a senior consultant 1, all these different titles here are determined by the OV. So when we talk about you rank advancing, your team rank advancing, that is this number. That is the total volume being done. This first column is your personal customers. So those are the two things. So you can be a diamond, over here, and any other rank over here. Okay. And so it's going to be a combination of different things. So the way to earn money the fastest in the business is to get your CSV over 4,000 and get paid as a diamond. But, and again, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but keep in mind, the bigger the number here is on CSV, that means the more customers that you have on subscription. Now, let me ask you a question. A happy customer is on subscription, and a happy customer becomes a prospect for your business. And those are people that you can talk to since they're happy customers getting started in the business. So obviously, the bigger the number here, like here, the 3,300, well, that person's probably got 50 to 100 people on subscription. So that's 50 to 100 people you can talk to about becoming a consultant. Okay, so this number is very important because this number leads to this number. Okay, the bigger the CSV, the bigger the OV is going to be, because you're going to have more people getting involved in the business. Okay. Now, one other thing, and then I'm going to give it to April, and then I'll answer your questions. Keep in mind, we had been qualifying at 200 points, okay, and qualifying now for another month or two is going to stay there, but it's actually 300, okay, depending on your rank, you may get to do a little bit less, but start planning this month that you got to do 300 to be qualified. Okay. And I want to give you a real little nugget that you can use where you never, ever, ever have to worry about qualifying your business, whether you buy something or not, or whether you buy $500 worth or not. If you focus on your CSV and you get that over 300, I'm going to say get it to Onyx. Okay. You will always be qualified for all checks. Okay, you'll always be qualified because there is no personal requirement. So once that number is above 300, and I'm saying if you're looking at 3, you might as well look at 5 and get a raise on what you get paid, earn an extra 5%. But that is the most important column is CSV. So when our subscriptions go out on the 5th, which, what is that, Wednesday? Look and see what that number is for you and start working on building that number. It's new customers and it's old customers. So April, I gotta go get my plug to plug in my computer. Can you take over? I'll stop the screen share.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? So, that was really important information. So you know where you are, because, obviously we can't go forward unless we know where we're going. So, so that was really good information. Bobby mentioned the Chicago meeting, but I want to talk about how to approach meetings. We are, we're going to say we're consultants, we're social sellers, we're in networking. And so when I look at doing meetings and, there are a few meetings. So I know we happen to know the gentleman that's doing the Atlanta meeting, which is April 15th, the following Saturday. So we have April 11th and April 15th. As I find these dates, I always go through my genealogy, through my contacts, through people that I know to find out, who might be interested in attending these meetings. So, I let not only the people in the business know, but again, it could be my customers. It's a great way to touch base with your customers, make sure they're loving the product. Maybe they're not interested in going. Maybe they know somebody that's going, going through your contacts. All of this stuff is networking. If you don't stay in front of people with these gentle touches of just letting them know, and I think Dana was on here before. Yeah, I see. Yeah, she's on. She messaged during the week that somebody that she has wanted for a while actually reached out and asked for information. So that's what happens when you constantly do this light follow up with people, even in your organization. And I'm going to, say that everyone on here is a leader at this point. Even as you build your organization, whether you build it with just customers or you build it with customers and consultants, sometimes, and you've heard the term, I don't really like it, you've heard the term that sometimes we talk about people as, glorified customers type thing, even though that they may be a consultant or not, because maybe they've gotten a little quiet. It is our job, if we don't see them on here, let's say I have somebody in my organization and I don't see them on here, not to be a pest, but I have to gently remind them that there's a Sunday night call, get them in that habit, because it is a habit of being on the call. Like any habit, when you create it and you miss it, it bothers you, but you have to help people create that habit and see who has the desire. So we need to be able to, gently reach out to those people. If you don't see them on here, maybe they just forgot it. I know Bobby does a lot of reminders and stuff, but it's really important that we do these reach outs. That's how you're going to build your organization. We have a funny one. I have a customer who is actually the cousin of a very prominent leader in this company. And I happened to be talking to her about her vacation, where she's going to Hawaii. And the prominent leader in this company got back to me and said, "How do you know her?" And I'm like, "Well, she's been on product with Bobby and I for quite a while." And she's like, "But it's my cousin." I'm like, "You didn't say anything, and this is the stuff that's going to go on." I know Jennifer was doing 333 on Facebook and came across another LifeVantage distributor. We don't own rights to anything. We don't own rights to territories or anything. So if we don't continually reach out to people, because what's going to happen, somebody might intrigue them. Maybe they go through and they see, Allie and Angie at the conference they were at, and they see Collagen or they see LifeVantage, and they're going to remember the person they talked to, their good friend, their relative initially. But if you're not out there talking to them, that's not going to get back to you. The market is going to start to soften. That collagen is softening the market for us. So this is a good time. And I do just these what I'll call gentle reach outs. Just, "Hey, how you doing? I have, if you want," or, "There's a meeting in Atlanta if you want to go." So these are the things that we need to be doing to expand our organization, because again, it's not like we can just run an ad in the paper anymore. You're either up on social, or at this age, even better is all the contacts we have. It's perfectly fine at this time to reach out to people that you haven't talked to in years and just say, "Hey, how are things? How's it going?" or whatever, and have a conversation with them. But we need to be doing this. So that blue calendar is starting to populate more. So Jaya, who's on here, and I are going to do meetings twice, and Catalina. So we're actually going to be at Dr. Grege's office in the evening, and then Jaya and I in Downers Grove. And I'll put the picture flyers in the training group. And I think Bobby may have already done that once, but there was a lot of stuff that went on last week. So you should have been inviting, follow up. "Hey, how'd you like that?" And then look to see who's at these new meetings. So there's actually one in Colorado on the 22nd. And the way that you handle an invite to these meetings is do a little work before. So I'll have to show you how I do this. So I go down and I look to see what meetings are going on. And then this is Arvada, Colorado. I have no idea where that is. So I go ahead and I Google distance between where the person is and that town, or where that town is and maybe where I can relate to Denver. You know, I try to get an idea. I don't invite somebody that's 9 hours away to something, even because it's like California is a really long state, but, you know, try to get a handle on where that person lives and where the meetings are. So you can figure out again, you know, who you want to be inviting, and it's realistic. So Chicago 11th, there's a lunch, and it is a lunch meeting. So you do have to RSVP for that. She's going to do a light lunch. And then in the evening at 6:30, Dr. Grieger, I think we're doing your office as well. So that's going on. And that's always been a great meeting, tremendous meeting there, because you have Dr. Goodman, you have Dr. Castori there as well. And a lot of spa and medical people are there as well. And then Atlanta's on Saturday. It's April 15th. I'm actually getting the link. We know Jason Kinsey does that meeting. And so I know Jason's very
great.
busy.
I mean, he does a
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah, very busy. He's got a lot going on, and you've probably did this if you've been to, like when you just went to New Orleans, when we went to New Orleans, probably you talked to somebody that wasn't in our group, maybe somebody from a different area. So the last time that Bobby and I were in Atlanta, we actually had dinner with a bunch of people, but there's a lady that's doing a great job, travels into that meeting. So I reached out to her, got the details, and I will set my guest up with her because, again, Jason will be super busy and swamped, but she's a great lady. So, and I think she'll connect with my guests. So that's just the stuff that's going on. So if you see something on the blue calendar and you don't know who it is, because it'll tell you who the host is of the meeting, then reach back out to us. We'll figure out who's hosting the meeting, give you some details, who they can connect with, because you want your guests to feel welcome. You want somebody to be looking out for them. So, you know, but this is just the stuff that we need to be doing as we look at the blue calendar, as we hear these meetings. Go through whoever you've got in your business, who's ever in your phone, anybody you can think of. And everything, you know, I say is, you know, who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? That's all I say, you know, all day long, looking for referrals for people that like the product, or maybe I'm doing some follow-up and I'll say, did you know? Did you know there's a meeting in Colorado? Would you be interested in going? And people will let you know. If you don't ask, and I'm just trying to think, we just had something go on, but if you don't ask, you'll never know.
Yep.
You'll never know. And it's just when somebody says, no, I can't go, or I'm busy, it doesn't, you know, it always brings me back to the best analogy I ever heard of is when the waitress is going around to you and she says, do you want coffee? And so if she was at Bobby's and my table, Bobby might say yes. I would say definitely no, because I don't drink coffee. I don't think the waitress gets terribly offended by me saying I don't want coffee. In fact, I bet she doesn't even give it a second thought. And so that's how you should look at when somebody says, no, I'm busy, or I can't go. It's not a personal rejection. It's just not fitting into their schedule, their life, or something that they want at this point. They didn't want the coffee. It's okay. Doesn't mean you don't ask them next time around if they want coffee or not. You see what I'm saying? So we have to keep doing these touches, because you never know what somebody else may say to them. I have many people I meet on social, and they're like, is that the LifeVantage company? I'm like, yes, it is. You know, what do you know about LifeVantage? Because somebody spent some time to do a little softening, but they didn't do the follow-up. They didn't hang with the person long enough. They didn't find out what the problem was. They explained the product, but they never said, why do you need the product? Why does the product interest you? What are you looking to get from that product? They didn't do the follow-up, and so they didn't get the person. So important. Just because somebody kind of gives you some buying signals doesn't mean you're going to buy, but make use of these in-person meetings. It's the easiest thing. And we go so much further with people in person than we ever can do on a Zoom or texting, you know, through social media or whatever. It is so much nicer when it's in person. And if you've been to any meeting, most of you were in New Orleans, everybody's great. Everybody's awesome. This is not a company where I'd say, oh, I don't want to send them to that whatever state because they're going to steal my people, or, you know, I've never had that. I feel really good in saying, go meet Go talk to everyone because everybody has been just like our group. They're awesome. Everybody's awesome in the company. So anyway, that's just a little bit about what I've been doing and networking and how to get more people, for each of us. So back to you, Bobby.
Yeah, the easiest time to make up for a previous month is the first 5 days of the month before the first subscriptions go out. So do yourself a favor and get serious about your enrollments and your customers and your consultants and your follow-up right away early in the month. And I know for a lot of people, ending the month, people need to kind of come up for air. If you were pushing to reach a gem rank or to reach a higher rank or something, sometimes, people are up to midnight the night of, closing it out. And maybe you need a day or two to come up for air. But I can tell you, and I'm a numbers person, the first 5 days of the month are generally the worst business days of the month for the company. Everybody just figures they'll start the month when the 5th comes, and that first batch of subscriptions go out. And I'm telling you, if you were talking to people at the end of the month, then unless you close them all for the end of the month, then you got people to continue talking to in the beginning of the month. And it's really an opportunity to I monitor it closely. Like I knew, because we didn't have our system. Remember, we were shut down the first day and a half last month. The whole back office was turned off. So I knew there was 2 days of like no volume last month. So I made sure that we were busy the first 2 days of the month. And we're already a few $1,000s ahead of last month because we made up that volume the first 2 days of the month, when last month we were closed for 2 days. So I used that time to be communicating with people. I know Kenneth had like 5 enrollments alone, okay? But they're like $3,500 in business came in when last month we were closed, okay? So I'm always looking at where can we pick up the pace? Where can we do more? And again, there's going to be a little confusion with the back office, with the titles, with everything being changed. But here's one thing that never changes: us sharing our business or our product with another person and enrolling them or not enrolling them. That never changes, and the computer will figure out whatever you and I don't know. Like we'll get paid, right? The computer, there's a lot of brainiacs at the company making sure that happens, right? Okay. So all we got to do is always go back to basics. Okay. That is the easiest, simplest way to do this business. And I wanted to share with you something else. And, April does a lot on social media. That's where most of her customers come from. And I'm pretty consistent on it. I'm not as good as her, and I don't know how to do a lot of things she knows how to do, but I'm pretty consistent with keeping posts up, especially in stories. And I had something really interesting happen this past week. There's a couple I know that I've known the husband for many, many years, and I know of his wife probably for the last 8 or 10 years. And I happen to know that she does well in another network marketing company that's kind of in the same space we are. But I've always stayed friendly, always went back and forth, never pitched her on anything or did anything stupid or foolish or anything like that. Just been friendly because I knew her spouse. Long story short, she reached out to me about a week ago, and she just got worn out with seeing the before and afters. And she had been using someone else's collagen and just not seeing results, and just reached out and started asking questions. And long story short, she's on ours now. Okay. And what's funny is she's acting like a kid that just opened up some Christmas presents. You know how the little kids get when they're opening presents? And I'm thinking, when this product does what it's supposed to do over the next 30, 60, 90 days, there might be an opportunity here to have a conversation with her about business. Who knows? If not, she's a customer. No, no harm, no foul, but don't ever rule anything out and don't come down off of social media. You know the deal. It's free. Okay. Posting on your wall is free. Announcing things is free. Staying up in stories is free. All of this stuff is free. So why would we ever allow anything to go dry, like to just come down? There's so much material, and you say, well, I've just been posting so much on collagen. Okay, switch, post on Protandim. Okay, switch, post on your dog for a week. Switch, post on where you went on vacation. Just, you can switch it up, okay? And they tell you some of it's supposed to be personal, some of it's supposed to be business. You're supposed to mix it up anyway. But even with the collagen, there's hundreds and hundreds of before and after pictures now. We could never run out. It's impossible. By the time we get through 100, 150 of them, you just start over. Okay, and use them all like they're new again. So, it's April. The weather in most places is going to start getting better now. People are going to start wearing, look, in Florida, we always walk around in shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops, okay? But in a lot of other states, the clothes are going to lighten up, the sleeves are going to get short, the shorts are going to come out, and there's going to be a lot more skin showing. And if you don't think when skin starts showing that people don't start paying attention to how can I fix that, you're kidding yourself, okay? That's tremendous opportunity. That's why we need to keep the post going, okay? We need to keep them going because, yeah, granted, if you're in the South, if you're in Texas, Florida, Arizona, hey, it's summer all year long. But for the rest of the country, it's becoming summer soon. And it's a great time to be showing how much better your skin is now compared to 60, 90, 120 days ago. So, April?
Let's open it up for questions because we're already 40 minutes in.
Okay. Any questions about anything, folks? Just unmute and let us know.
I have one question. If a consultant comes and joins, I will only get paid from them as consultant, not as the first month volume will not be considered as my volume.
There's like 3 different answers to that, but
I want to know what happens
when you bring in a new consultant, you have 4 months to earn money on what they do, extra money. It's called the Fast Start and Mentor Bonus. So you get the immediate income of 10% right up front immediately. Okay. And then depending on what they do after that, and this has nothing to do with the level bonuses. This has nothing to do with the regular comp plan. There's all kinds of other bonuses called Fast Start bonuses. And you can just watch the video on that you can earn for the first 120 days that they're in the business. So there's no set dollar amount. It's how much you help them determines how much you earn. There's no set dollar amount other than you getting 10% the day they order it. Okay, whatever that is. And by the way, just so you know, folks, signing a consultant, you're going to get used to this, but I'm going to repeat myself a lot until you do get used to it. Signing a consultant is not signing a customer. So that is not CSV volume. You will never see it in that column. That is organizational volume. Okay, it will be in the OV category, not the CSV. C, just remember the C stands for customer, and that's the only thing that counts. Customers that you personally enrolled. And it don't matter if you enrolled them 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago, they all count. Every month, the same. Everybody the same. Next.
I got a question. Hi.
Hey, Carolina.
About the MVP qualification.
Uh-huh.
Not the 3 people not the people, but for me. So I need to have a certain personal volume, like, I need to purchase a certain amount for MVP?
MVP, because this is, and that's a good question, and it's probably over most people's heads, okay? But it's not part of the compensation plan. It's like a separate thing that we're getting bonuses on that isn't in the plan. That's why it's not in the official compensation book, okay? Because it's not. So in order to be an MVP, okay, you need to be a consultant. You need to sign up 3 consultants. They need to all be qualified. Right now, has that moved to 300 yet, April, or is that still 200?
I think it's 200.
It's
Two.
200, yeah.
It's gonna
we're never
move to
it's
3
never gonna
when it
move.
moves, when the rest moves to 3, it'll move to 3. But to answer your question, on MVP, you're gonna need a personal purchase of at least 40 points. Okay.
That's
at
very
least-
confusing.
It is, and hopefully they get rid of MVP. I'm sick of it. I don't see any room for it. But I'm not making those decisions. They either, if they're gonna keep it, they need to make the qualification the same as everything else moving forward. But again, it's not part of the comp plan right now. Think of it, it's an additional bonus income we can earn. So you gotta look at it a little separate, but that's the only thing that has a personal purchase requirement of 40 point, a bottle of Protandim or NAD or something like that.
Yeah, because I really appreciated April calling me, because I would
Yeah.
have missed that. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, most of us that are sapphires, emeralds, diamonds, we buy a lot of product anyway because we use a lot, so it doesn't matter. But it is there, and you could have 5,000 points from customers, and if you didn't have 40 of your own personal, it is, but it's just for MVP. So yeah, that one's tricky. We've all complained about that because we feel everything should be in line, but they said that's not comp plan. That is an outside bonus that was already going on. So we'll try and keep an eye on it too. There's supposed to be, and again, a lot of the trackers aren't working yet. Okay, but there's supposed to be some really good trackers that we can use in the back office starting sometime during April, where we'll be able to see a lot of that without asking questions. It'll be there to look at. So what else? Anyone else? Everybody's got these questions, so if you're thinking of something, please ask.
Bob. Hey, Bob.
Who is
Got a
that?
question, Steve.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, it used to be you paid once a month for the residual and then weekly what you did the previous week. Are they still doing that
Yeah.
kind of game plan?
Yep. You get paid, I'm gonna call it weekly, but whenever you enroll a new customer or enroll a new consultant, your 10% commission on that goes out within the week. Okay, within the week. Then the gemstone, the bonus for being a gemstone, whether it's onyx or diamond, and then obviously the residual income, matching check bonus, all of that, those are all monthly. So we get the immediate income when we enroll someone within a week, and then everything else we get for the month.
Okay.
Bobby,
Hey, Zuma, what's up?
whatever we did last month as a sapphire for me, for example, I'm going to get paid on April 15th, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The sapphire, diamond, emerald, and onyx bonuses will be in our check with our residual and level bonuses and stuff. It'll be itemized so we can see what it is, but whether you're getting 10, 15, or 20% back on your customers, that is a monthly thing that comes in our monthly check. So if you were sapphire, whatever your number was, you got an extra 15% coming. You already got 10, you know, when the order went out. And let me explain that. When, let's say you have existing subscriptions, customers that are going out one of the 5 days, the 5th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 25th, their order is going out at subscription price. We are all at consultant price. So the difference between what they paid and what we pay, we get that within 3 to 5 days, 6 days. Okay, that's immediate income. We get that right away. The additional money that we earn on our customers is determined by whether we're Onyx, Emerald, Sapphire, or Diamond, and that we get in our monthly check. Okay, now here's the good news on that. You could be going into, let's say, April as an Onyx. All right, you were an Onyx last month, and as the month goes on, you have a good month, you enroll 5 or 10 customers, and you become an Emerald or a Sapphire. Everything that happened in the month, even though it may have happened when you were just an Onyx, everything that happened that month, you get paid on what that is at the very last day of the month. Okay, so that's why it pays to really get to that next level, because it's retroactive for the month. It's not retroactive to the previous month, okay, but it's retroactive. Like if Catalina hit Diamond on March 31st, and she had brought in 15 customers over the course of the month, and in the beginning of the month, she was just Emerald. Okay, it doesn't matter. All of those customers for the month and all of her old customers, everybody, she's getting paid as a Diamond. So it's retroactive to the beginning of the month. That's why it's so important that you carry momentum over. So if you ended the month as an Emerald, work your butt off to be up to Sapphire by the end of April, and everything you got, you'll get paid, okay, as a Sapphire, okay, on all of it. So it's really neat. I think you're all going to be excited when you see your check statements and get your checks, you know, for this month, for last month. But when you realize that it's retroactive for the month and it goes back to, you know, you got to realize that a lot of our orders are customer volume that we see for Onyx, Emerald. They're going out on the 5th and the 10th and the 15th and the 20th and the 25th. And it doesn't matter, because that additional money on that, we're going to get paid on whatever our title is on the last day of the month. Okay, so it's really given us a chance to go back and claim lost money, at least for the month. You know what I mean? So does that make sense, Uma?
Yes, yes, it does. And I would like to have it, you know, they have mentioned the tracker. And in the meantime, while the office set up that tracker, I would like to have an idea of how much, you know, to those little numbers of per customer, per gemstone, for this. I would like to have that. So did you post it on the Team Unity? Because I looked.
I just trained on it.
Maybe you can just tag her in that video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
Go
trained
back.
on it. At the beginning of this call, I showed how you can monitor all of that for your whole team.
No, but she's saying actual
having.
dollars.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll tag you on it.
No actual dollars, points for the, oh, I'm sorry. Points for that trip to Punta Cana. I'm in Punta Cana already.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's not posted yet. That's not even available yet. So
No yet? Okay. So
no, that's
what I
not
was
even
thinking.
that's not even available. I mean,
You need,
a
you need
couple
to keep your
people
own
made-
sheets. Keep
Yeah,
your
a
own
couple
sheets.
people made trackers,
Yeah,
but they're paper trackers. They're not on the computer.
just keep
Okay.
your own sheet with your name and what they did and the date. So.
You posted them, right?
Uh-huh. What?
Did you post Holly's tracker and
No, because it's too just keep
Okay.
a sheet of who you sponsored. You'll know if it's a second month, you'll make it easy, and they'll have the tracker by then. But you need to know who you signed and the date and what they bought, and then you can
Okay.
figure everything else out.
Okay, so then looking until March, go back and then check how many customers I had and what
Yep.
they bought.
Yeah,
Right.
because March was easy. We only got a point for each customer. There was
Okay.
nothing fancy about it. April, we'll look for second month orders and stuff starting now.
Okay, thank you.
But if
That's
you
what I
have it, the list, it's so easy to go back and forth. If like the last contest, I had names and dates, what they bought, and then another column for second month. So you can just do it on a notepad,
Okay.
do it your own way.
Okay,
And if
thank
you do it now, where, because the only thing not on the list now is March. So if you do it now, you put March in there, you're up to date, you know, and then you can monitor from that point on. Because for the trip, our old customers don't count. It's only the new ones as of March. So,
Okay, thank you. That's what I meant.
okay, sorry, I didn't realize you were thinking trip already. So,
Good thought. I like
it's a
it.
good thought. Hey, by the way, another thing, everybody to set your goals to get to Sapphire as quick as possible. Remember, Sapphire happens at 2000. It's pretty easy to go from Emerald to Sapphire because that's just going from 1000 to 2000. To go from Sapphire to Diamond, you have to double up. Okay, you got to go from 2000 to 4000. But the company is giving a lot of points for Sapphire, okay, for reaching that rank. And it starts in April. So everybody, whether you're Onyx or Emerald, okay, you want to get to Sapphire because they're giving us, what is it, 15 points
Mhm.
every month for hitting Sapphire? So
Yeah,
you do that for 6 months, you can get 90 points just for doing that. If you're Diamond, they're giving 30 points a month. You can get 180 points just for hitting Diamond, you know, and staying there. So, and we'll do some more training on the trip once some of this stuff comes out, but we'll do more on it. In the meantime, you can ask questions. Anyone else? We good? We're doing the best we can with the changes, folks. It's just even our eggs get a little scrambled sometimes with it, you know, when you change everything all at once, but we're getting better with it. You know, we're digging in, and a lot of leaders are talking to each other, and when they find something that's important, they're sharing it with each other and stuff. So it's going good. But all right, we'll talk to you
Bob,
soon.
that 150 points has no meaning. We don't have to do that 150 points.
we
So
don't
why
have
do
to.
we even talk about it?
What are you talking about?
See, we don't have to personally buy that point.
What do we want to do? Get old and die and not use the products? Well, everyone going to stop using the products, get old and die? Come on, Jay. We don't have to, but that's like telling everybody to stop taking your collagen. I'm
I'm not
taking
saying
3 a
that.
day. No, I'm not. I'm only taking 2. I didn't tell April. I take 1 in the morning, 1 at night.
But, you know, before it had a meaning that you had to do this much. Now it doesn't count at all towards the customer volume. So why
No,
not?
not customer volume, but here's the thing. A lot of people got used to just buying their 200 points to be qualified. And they have to understand only 150 of that counts. So it's not a matter of they don't have to do it. Of course, they need to buy product. Everybody needs to buy product, but that won't qualify you anymore with just buying product. You can only count 150 of it. You have to have at least 50, now 50, but in a couple months when it goes to 300, you're going to have at least 150 in customers. Okay. Whether they're new, old, or both, and most of you already do. I mean, it's irrelevant, but it's important that you let new people know to focus on getting themselves, you know, that's why I said we focus on everybody getting their new people to Onyx. Qualifying and getting paid is irrelevant because it happens automatically. There's nothing to worry about. They order what they order when they need product, but they're automatically qualified. So that's a good training for you new people. All righty. Have a good night, everyone. And reach out if you need anything, but let's have a big month and start the ball rolling. Good night.